Hi, guys. This is Jean Holden, producer of the show. And I just wanted to take a minute to let you know where you can find us on the internet. Please go to ThatMan on Fatman.com. There you can find out all the things you need to know about the show. You'll be able to find links to the podcast, to YouTube, to Twitter, Facebook, even Instagram and Snapchat. Thank you so much for listening, guys, and we hope you enjoy the show.
Today's show is brought to you by Death Wish Coffee. Death Wish Coffee, the strongest coffee in the world.
This is Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman, and I want to urge you to make a generous donation to the Wayne Foundation so we can stop the sexual trafficking of children. Do it, or I'll find you.
And don't forget to check out our good friend of the show, Mark Live, over at chundertunes.com for all your podcast animation needs. ThatMan on Fatman is recorded with a Zoom H6 handy recorder. Zoom. For creators.
Disclaimer. The show you're about to experience is for entertainment purposes only. The hosts use mature language and conversation just like in most of life. If you're too uptight, this might not be for you. All that said, we really do hope you enjoy the show. But if you don't enjoy it, expect a nice big shipment of my joyous Joker juice on your doorstep in the very near future. Toodles!
Yes, please note that use of all sound effects is done ironically.
Ooh-ah. You are listening to ThatMan on Fatman with Scott and Jean Holden, and they, trust me, have a great ass.
The second Y is sent in by
ThatMan on Fatman.
Oh, right on. Scott Holden.
Scott Holden, yep.
And what does Scott want?
Call me Scott because I'm Holden.
As the world's biggest Kevin Smith fan, I appreciate the fact that somebody finally made a podcast about that interesting motherfucker. So, yes, you absolutely did the right thing.
Okay, what has two thumbs and is a huge fan of Kevin Smith? ThatMan!
Scott, who does ThatMan on Fatman podcast.
Yeah.
Ooh-ah.
Well, once upon a time, just a regular man read a book written by the Fat Man. Tough shit written by old Kev Smith.
Ooh-ah. ThatMan on Fatman.
Kev said go out and start a podcast, and so I did, and I had a real blast. But my obsession was driving my co-host nuts.
Who is he? He's that man. He's talking.
Didn't want to bring the podcast down. Needed Porkchop Murphy to hang around.
Go get him, that man.
So I created a show with one heck of a plan, and I call that show ThatMan on Fatman.
ThatMan on Fatman.
Go get him, that man.
We're gonna talk about Kevin Smith.
ThatMan on Fatman. ThatMan on Fatman.
Go get him, that man.
We're gonna talk about Kevin Smith.
Go get him, that man.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to this episode 36. 4-36, make that. It means we're one away from 37. The end of the season. Season 4. That's right. And here in the studio with me is none other than co-host extraordinaire and producer Jean Holden.
Hi, guys.
Co-pilot on this journey into insanity that has been ThatMan on Fatman.
That moment there, he sounded like, let's get ready to rumble.
I know.
That guy.
I don't think we can say that on the air. I think that's like copyrighted or something. But
Oops.
I know who you're talking about. I get the reference.
Yes.
I understand.
Hi, guys.
So, in this show, we're going to move on very quickly and
Yes.
jump right into the sped lines
Sped
because
line.
let's just say hi to Miss Daniel Ryan.
That Man on Fatman presents The Smidlines with Askew News reporter Danielle Ryan.
Hey, Askewniverse, how you doing? I'm your news girl, Danielle Ryan, here with all the great Kevin Smith news.
Yay!
And, hey, how you doing?
Hey, how are you? Gene's in here. It's getting hot in here.
It's getting hot in here.
Oh, wait, I should turn your mic. Oh, I'm sorry, you're on a new mic today.
But my clothes are still on, like, for the moment. I can't tell you, like, 5 minutes from now.
Yeah, but you just took a hat off, so we're
I did. It's so hard.
Serious.
Yeah, hats are, like, I like hats, so...
I do too.
Yeah, it's very, very something about a hat that just adds a certain amount of character to an outfit.
Yes.
Or whatever.
And Jean has a good head for hats.
Well, thank you.
And you pass that on to our daughter, too. Which is
yes, she's very much the hat-wearing girl.
Yeah.
And she looks
You guys
fabulous.
look cute in hats.
And Danny, I know, has looked fabulous in a hat because I've seen her in hats.
Yes, I wear hats all the time. Love a good hat.
Yes.
Love one.
Okay.
How was the dentist?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fun. It was great. I don't have to go
jealous.
back for 3 weeks, so
I'm
happy.
I'm very jealous.
Yeah, she's got some
I
stuff.
really need some work done, but, like, our circumstances have made me have to put it off for, like,
Oh, my God.
probably about 2 weeks, and it's going
Yeah.
to be killing me.
He was so jealous. He's like, oh, my God, I want to go to the
Yeah, I
dentist.
saw. She said, emergency dentistry. I want to do that now.
Oh, that's how I was last. Well, I had a tooth that broke in half, so this is the third time I've gone back to get it all fixed.
That's like
so.
him, too.
I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, it's not a
anyway.
good time.
No.
So.
It's never fun.
But it's fixed. So yay.
Good for you.
Well, Scott's will be, too.
Yes.
And,
Yay. And then we'll be fixed tooth buddies.
Yay. So let's hear about Kevin.
I
Does
just
he have
hope it
any-
doesn't abscess in the meantime.
Oh, no.
Just keep it clean.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
Brush your teeth, keep it clean.
Right.
And if it's really a problem, get some antibiotics.
yeah. All right, so hit us with good news. It's not teeth.
Yes, it is the opposite of the dental nightmares that we are living.
Yes.
So we've got some fun news from Kevin this week. There's a new show on, well, it's the 4th season, but it's the new season of a show, Comedy Central's This Is Not Happening.
Yeah.
And it's a series where comedians tell stories about their lives. And it's not quite like stand-up. It's more personal. It's more like, it's almost like podcasty, but on camera.
Right. I think almost
It's
like
like
a
what
risk.
Kevin Smith does at his shows
Basically,
already.
I think it's kind of like a risk, like a Kevin Allison type, but it's more of like a comedy.
Yeah.
See, people telling a story, and it's more of like a comedy based like that. Or-
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an amalgam.
Yeah.
And it's a fun show, and this season 4 is starting with Kevin Smith featured episode, and this is his first time on the show, and it's an episode all about love and romance. And he tells a story that is all about him and his wife, and what they call the Spokane amendment, not agreement,
Yeah.
amendment.
I loved it.
Spokane amendment. Yeah, it's great. And I think there'll be more on the show tonight. This is just a little clip that they have up on ComedyCentral.com. You can check it out if you want to see Kevin talking about the Spokane Amendment. And it's dirty and hilarious and everything we love about Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we actually...
I watched it already.
Yeah, and we also know that there's another one of friend
And
of the show,
Christina Hutchinson,
who is also on
from Guys We Fucked.
Yeah.
Her story's on there too, and I loved both of them. Her stand-up is fabulous. Go girl, go! She did a great job.
And she's also she's the one from the Guys We Fucked who also was a fellow Virginian, or like
Right, she was in Chesapeake, like down the road from us.
Yes, we lived in Chesapeake,
That was
Virginia
so
for like
crazy.
10 years.
Yeah, she has a
and just to
new-
find out that she was right around the corner was nuts when we talked with them.
Yeah, she has a new comedy album out too.
Cool.
So check her out too, Christina Hutchinson.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love dirty
Yeah.
humor.
Oh my
Yes.
God! Yeah, Guys We Fucked is a great podcast. They've had some really good guests lately too.
Yeah, and they're breaking big.
Yeah. But Kevin's story, and I've seen it, and it's really good. It's a story I never heard before. Now, you think after a while, Kevin's stories, you've heard them all. But
Right, you'd think he'd reuse them, but he doesn't.
I know. It's like, oh, hey, a story I never heard.
It's nice when he comes out with something.
Yeah, I love it
Yeah.
because it's really cute because sometimes you just know them and
Yeah.
it's okay and you feel
We're
good.
fans.
Yeah, and it's hard not to because
yeah.
But he has to kind of keep talking because some of them people haven't heard him yet.
I go
exactly
when I go to when I go to see Kevin talk now. I hope to hear something different. Someone ask that weird question and get a new gem. But
well, it's just like any stage show, like the Jokers constantly.
The
are
more
changing
you follow
their,
them, the more you know the stories.
Changing their show, and they have to do it because they have to freshen up everything, or people are just going to keep getting the same jokes.
Yeah.
But it's really funny. Check it out. And what is it called again, Danny? What's the show called?
The show's called This Is Not Happening.
This Is Not Happening. And what is it on?
It is on Comedy Central, it
Nice.
airs tonight, Saturday the 10th.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
And
Sounds
thank
like a lot
God
of
this will be
fun.
dropping tonight.
Yes, I heard you say that. So
Yes. Wow, it squeezes in.
Yeah.
I used my news skills.
Yes.
You did.
So you're awesome.
Yes.
And to that end, we decided to bifurcate this week's news because we're going to be dropping 2 shows during this week.
Yes.
So, that's the big story, correct?
That is the big story. Okay. You are correct. That's the big story for this week, and it's a fun one, and it's a really fun little video. Mm. So even if you don't check it out, on air tonight, just go to comedycentral.com and watch Kevin talk about the wonderful agreement that he's made with his wife.
Yeah, and be adorable again because he's always
so cute.
He's so adorable.
He's and over the years, the weed. I think you can definitely draw a line from pre-weed, post-weed Kevin.
Right.
And the longer he's smoked, the more he has become this sort of, I don't know, more like a cherub or someone who's more
something like that. Yeah. And even talking about what he was talking about.
Keeping things more, he's always on the positive. Always tries to turn it to the positive. How do I try to turn it to the positive?
Is. Even the haters, he has a way of telling haters, you don't have to be this way.
Yeah.
He has a way of twisting it around to make people think that there is they could be positive instead of being a dick.
Because when people are
weed is enlightenment, is what you're saying.
for Kevin Smith, for sure.
For Kevin Smith, or Tommy Chong, or Sarah Silverman, or any of these other super nice stoner folks.
I know, right? Tommy Chong is hilarious on Twitter.
Oh wait, what was it? What was it? Okay, here you go.
I love Sarah Silverman.
This week on the Ralph Report, Ducky was on.
Oh my
gosh, if you know Ducky from what do you call it? It was not 16 Candles. It was
Pretty in Pink.
Pretty in Pink. Pretty in Pink.
John Cryer.
Yeah, also on what is it, 2.5 Men and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But
I thought he was the best part of that show, but that's just me.
I completely agree.
Now I'm so he was talking about working with the late, is it Harry Dean Stanton, who passed last year, and apparently that dude. Big stoner.
Big, yes.
Yeah, and so,
I could see that.
Like when they went,
and it totally makes sense.
Like when they went to his trailer, apparently a big cup, like they would open the door and a big cloud of smoke would come out. Yeah.
Good for him.
God rest his soul.
Yeah, I just finished reading the Princess Diarist, Carrie Fisher's book, and she's talking about all during the filming of Star Wars and the summer that they filmed that, and she just talks about smoking pot with Harrison Ford a lot.
And didn't they have an affair too?
I love that.
They did, and it's a really interesting story. The affair is really, that whole section of the book is fascinating because she was 20 and he was in his mid-30s.
Now, do you recommend the book?
We have it on audio. It's just I haven't sat down and committed to.
Yeah, I'm asked because I've heard mixed things about it.
Really?
So do you recommend it, Danny? Okay.
I liked it a lot. Some of her teenage poetry and stuff it's teenage poetry.
Yeah, but all of us have that. Yeah.
Yeah, but all the stuff that she wrote as later after the fact is really, really good. The stuff that's actually from the time period is kind of just fun to see, but it's not necessarily what you're there for.
Well, I know from Harrison Ford, he had a hard time commenting on that portion of the story.
Well, he was married.
I know. It's like, what
he
do
was
you
married
say
at the time.
when you're
I didn't
asked
realize
that
that.
question? Like, what do you do? Like,
who was he married to at the time?
His first wife. They had 2 kids together.
Yeah.
He was in his mid-30s, and I guess the marriage was kind of shaky because they divorced shortly after, and Carrie had nothing to do with it because they.
Oh.
See, he's a huge stoner too. They say.
I don't know if he was back then. Well, he must have been back then.
See, I don't know that he's
He
doing.
still is.
I don't know that he's doing us any good. Doing stoners, I'm sorry, any good because, he crashes planes
out there
and
doing
breaks
whatever.
his, gets his.
He's
foot,
falling down.
He's getting
crashing
stuff
planes.
breaking in the Millennium Falcon. He's getting his foot caught. I mean,
but he was
he's
in.
quite up there in age.
Right. But he was in one interview. I think it was with Ryan.
My dad met him, actually.
I think it was with Ryan Gosling. He was in an interview with
Yes.
a British lady, and it was the best interview because he was so relaxed, and all he did was laugh. Like
Yeah,
to
there's
see
one of
her.
them-
my dad met him.
Yeah.
at
he did.
Okay. I'll wait.
Not Colbert. He did one of the late shows a while back, and
Yeah.
he was so stoned, and it was right after the plane crash and everything. And they were talking about he's friends with the pilot that landed the plane in the Hudson.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the guy who was Tom Hanks in the movie.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And so they were asking him, they're
Lieutenant
like, so
Dan?
Harrison,
No.
what would you do in that situation? And he goes, well, I would shit my pants and then I'd die. Hopefully in that order.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, we all want to. Yeah, that would be.
So, I'm still a fan of Harrison Ford, the old stoner. I'm all right with it.
Me too.
My
Me
dad
too. We
met
just
him.
wanted to be careful.
Because my dad is a writer. He's
An aviation
did a
writer.
lot of nonfiction aviation for years.
Very cool.
Yeah,
and
it is
so
pretty
he
cool.
would go to air shows and sell books and stuff. And at one air show, another, writer, famous guy, and big flyer was Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
So he got to hang out with him a little bit.
Yeah, he got some pictures with him too.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. Yeah. I don't think your dad knew that he was such a stoner. I
No.
don't know if he really
my,
likes that
my
part
dad
of him.
isn't necessarily
He's
that
straight
kind of
edge.
guy.
Your dad's straight edge. So anything
Straight
like
edge.
that, like well,
yeah,
you
my
know
dad
what
walks
I mean.
around with the X's on his hands.
No,
He
not
shaves
that
his head.
straight edge. I'm thinking just straight. He's just straight, a straight guy. Sorry,
He's a teetotaler.
I misspoke.
Yes,
a
I'm
teetotaler.
kidding anyway.
Very nice, Danielle. Very nice pull. Teetotaler is a good one. Yeah, so that's very, and he's so for him. Like, I don't think that was something that he approved of.
No,
it's pretty funny though, because all that great. Because I don't know, it's just because it is. It's Han Solo, and he's stoned, and he just sits there smiling, and
yeah,
it's pretty
He's
funny.
great.
He
I
really
love him
is.
stoned in interviews.
Me
It's just
too.
because
Yeah, exactly. Because
I love it. He's just like this grumpy old stoner man, and I love it.
Me too.
Lightsaber.
Right.
Chewy.
He
That
does
or-
mumble a little bit, but that's
That
fine.
or, there's an interview.
That's the only
You
way. I
guys-
guess you have to pay him to enunciate.
Yeah.
You do. But if you really want to see the best stoned interview ever, it's from the tour for Forgetting Sarah Marshall. It's Paul Rudd and the guy that's with him in that movie. I'm having a brain fart from How I Met Your Mother.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh my God, no, Gene. Shame on you.
The gay guy?
The big tall guy with the curly hair.
So not the gay guy.
Not Neil Patrick
Yeah.
Harris.
Okay.
I know. I'm like, oh my God, Neil.
So
Patrick
who else is on that
Harris.
show? Is there someone else on that show besides Neil? No, I'm kidding.
Yes, there is. He's the tall, fabulous guy.
Josh
But anyway,
Radnor?
they did an interview
Wapner?
high out of their minds promoting Forgetting Sarah Marshall. If you actually even just do Paul Rudd high interview, it's the best interview I've ever seen.
Now,
I will
are
say
we
this.
talking about Jason Segel, who I love?
That's him. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Gene likes him. What's funny is this. I always thought that the scene in was it Knocked Up,
Yes.
where those guys are tripping.
Oh
On
my
mushrooms.
I have never
God.
seen a more like authentically played scene of two guys tripping balls.
With like chairs.
My favorite. And he sticks his whole fist in his mouth, and he's like, "Look what I can do!
yeah,
It tastes like rainbows."
Or when they were like at the fucking what was it at a Cirque du
Cirque du
Soleil, and
Soleil.
like, oh my God, no, please! You
And
know?
they had to sit in like all the chairs, like the different chairs.
that was amazing.
That was brilliant.
I have to change chairs.
There's something about Paul Rudd as so underrated.
Yeah.
About Paul
He's the
Rudd.
best. I've been in love with him since he was Phoebe's husband on Friends.
Yes.
It's
Oh
so
my
funny.
God,
I
Danny,
I rewatched Ant-Man like 3 days ago.
Ah, so brilliant. Paul Rudd. Shout
He's
out.
great. He has not aged in like 20 years.
Yeah, what's that all
You know,
about?
I just saw someone just tweeted something
He
like
looks so good.
Paul Rudd's going to go from like 35. It was Mark Bernardin. He's going to go from like 35 to 71 overnight.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, Paul Rudd, could he look better at 71 than you do at 35?
Probably.
He's so, so.
And I can't hate him.
And he's just that nice guy that everybody likes. Yep.
Yeah, she just said it. You can't hate him. You got to love him.
They always cast him the character.
Yeah. He could just share whatever that is that he's doing.
I want to see him play like a serial killer or something.
Yeah.
I'd love that. That would be awesome.
Something like really scary.
He'd
like I want
probably
to see him play Patrick Bateman.
He would be good at that.
Or the guy they just fired from the White House.
What?
The wife beater that they just fired from the White House.
No,
That's like real scary
Not that
instead
kind
of like
not that kind of scary.
Oh, okay.
instead of like I have to return some videotapes scary.
Yeah, we don't mean that
okay.
kind.
We just took it to was it Margaret Cho?
We don't mean like punch him in the face.
Who like did the rape jokes and got thrown off the stage or whatever.
I love Margaret Cho.
That was great.
God. How could they like? I just
I
don't
don't get
get
it
it because she was like.
She was in the zone.
She's
She was
talking
funny.
about real time.
Yeah.
Making a joke.
She's doing exactly what I say.
And they're
You should be able to
Jersey,
say anything.
And these, well, this particular show is Jersey bitches that have no sense of humor. That there's, sorry, but an Asian girl telling off-color jokes that they can't handle. Sorry, but it's true. And then she went back and redid the show for them and made it like, very clean and okay. And you know what? She shouldn't have had to do that.
No,
you should be
let
able to
Margaret Cho
laugh
be
at
Margaret
what's
Cho.
happening.
I
Let her be
believe-
her, and real time, the shit has to be funny, or it's going to make us like crumble.
I truly believe that today's interview with the guy with Chris from
That's a great
Master
interview.
Debaters.
Yes.
I truly work that whole thing of
Yeah.
there's nothing you can't say if you're creative enough.
Right.
And I turn it on
It's a
itself
really
by
good
the end of that
interview. It's a good interview.
Yeah, we have so much fun with that guy.
Yeah, and I think it's going to change some minds, that interview. Just you watch.
Ooh, yes. Ooh. About wrestling?
Yes. About you mean wrestling?
Yeah.
Wrestling?
Yeah.
You ever need something said Southern? Just ask. I
Well-
can even do different kinds of Southern. You can do Sweet Tea Alabama.
Oh, that's right. But
She's
it
got
has-
a good one. I like
Well,
her
she's
accent.
she's
She
in
does
fucking
a good-
Georgia, man.
Yeah, she does
Believe it
a
or not,
good-
Atlanta is Georgia.
See,
as soon
we
as you
were-
step outside of that ring.
We were Virginia, but I could never get the Jersey out. So I said
Yeah, and we were
nothing.
Norfolk, which is kind of like in Atlanta in that because it's so much military transplant.
We couldn't even said Norfolk right.
It doesn't feel like the South until you step
Yep.
out
Yeah.
of your, immediate county.
Yeah.
Yeah, I live way out in rural nowhere land, so I'm surrounded by folks who talk like this.
Oh my!
You're down in
God.
Georgia.
Yeah, isn't
Down
she a
in
doll?
Georgia?
Isn't she
Georgia.
a doll baby? Ain't she a doll baby?
Oh yeah, bless her heart.
Well, technically, I'm a Southerner because I was born in the South.
You were
Yeah,
Lakeland, Florida.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you
But we don't
Right.
claim Florida.
go. Yes, because
Yeah.
we were Seminoles.
I don't think anybody wants to claim Florida.
No,
It's a
not at
shame.
all. A
I know
Southern
that
man
sounds-
today. All right,
Isn't
let's
that
wrap
so-
the news
Okay,
so we can
let's
we can
go-
record the next segment and move on.
Love
we
all-
got to
love-
do 2 of these today.
Love all those Floridians out there. Love
We're
you
knocking
guys.
down the fourth wall.
Mwah. Okay,
That's
so
all right. I
should we
love my
go?
Floridians. I have several friends who are Floridians.
I do too,
Yes.
and I do.
Not
I have
racist,
family in
it's
Florida.
Floridians.
My mother lives in my birth mother lives in Florida.
And these people know what we're talking about.
Yes.
So let's
All right.
do you want to move on to the next?
No, we're going to close out because
Oh,
we're
okay.
gonna, remember we're doing 2 news segments
Yes.
today. Because and now everyone knows it.
2 for the price of 0.
That's fine.
But let's wrap this one out.
Okay.
Just give us your plugs.
Yes, you can catch me as always on Twitter. I'm Danny Rat, DANIRAT, and on Freaky Fandoms at freakyfandomspodcast.com. And this week we're doing a super fun one. We're doing the Japanese horror film Battle Royale, and we have a special guest. My friend Elizabeth Baker is joining us once more. So,
Awesome.
Nice.
yay, we're gonna have fun.
Hey, you're having a 3-way. That's
That
always
sounds
fun.
like fun. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Woo.
definitely.
And 2 girls, even better.
Right?
Always better.
Yes. Anyway, all right. Let me. You said all that stuff. All right, so I can now play the outro.
Do.
Play me out, sir.
We will.
This has been the Smedlines. With Askew News reporter, Danielle Ryan. Follow her on Twitter at Danny Rat.
Thank you again to Miss Danielle Ryan at Danny Rat on the
Yes.
Twitters, the Twitter. And we're so glad that she was able to be here today, and we really enjoy her. That she's a part of the show now, and each week it's more fun talking to her. We end up doing as much talking off mic as we do on.
I know, it's a lot of fun. And send her love on Twitter to
Yeah.
let her know how much you love her, and check her out at Freaky Fandoms as well.
Yeah, and as I said last week, if you're a follower of Danielle who's found the show, please let us know and say hi. And we it's a two-way. We need you to shout out to us so that we can reach out to you.
Right.
Like if we don't know where you're there, we can't we can't participate with you, and we like to participate with listeners and stuff.
The communication is key. So
yes,
let us know.
If we don't know you're there, we're just shouting into the void.
Let us know where you're at.
So and you can do that on ThatMan on Fatman. Or at ThatMan Producer on the Twitter.
And say hey and
hey.
what you want us to talk about. Hey girl, hey. And,
yes. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo.
All right. Now, today's show, today's show we have Mr. Christopher Parr, who is sort of the brain trust, I guess, he would be the me version, the guy who kind of runs the show, the showrunner of Master Debaters, a little podcast, which is breaking kind of on the big side now. I mean, I feel like if you follow podcasts, they're kind of turning a corner. They're making that, they're
making that turn.
Yeah. So they're becoming very popular.
Go guys, go.
And we talk a lot about why we believe that is, but in truth, this is just. I had a good time.
I know.
It was fun. You could tell he's there are guests that I can point to.
Right.
That I could just tell I would get on with. You can, they will amplify your game.
Right.
You know what I mean? They up your game, and your game is up, and their game is up, and it just feels like that, and that's what this interview feels like.
Right. And I'm going to give everybody kind of a little inside. When you were editing, I was in the other room, and just listening to it, I was just crying, laughing. It was just so much fun and so funny. It was just naturally, it just flowed, and it just is a naturally funny interview, and it's a lot of fun.
And
it's not even an interview. I really can't even
call
it
it that.
It is, but it's not.
It gets very... we talk a lot about comedy and comedy principles.
Yeah, exactly.
And the interview does some things that are very interesting that happen partially naturally and partially out of, wit and it's I just really enjoyed this, and I hope you guys do too. I would have him on again anytime. He's as far as I'm concerned, he's got because you could tell, we don't need... when we have him on, the game will be amped.
Right.
Everything's amped up, and everything will be better.
Right, a little bit of salty,
yeah,
a little bit
exactly.
of sassy.
Yes, and he uses that term too.
Yeah,
and it was
salty,
just
sassy,
fun because I poke at the British stuff, and he doesn't give a shit anyway. But it's still kind of fun, and and as he points out all the stereotypical ironies of Americans joking on British people, and I just really had a good time.
Well, because a smart, funny person knows that all of that stuff is funny, and that's it. It's not meant any deeper than for the laugh.
And then this thing takes a turn because it felt. Now, if you go back to the Jay Miller show, it felt like almost another part of that discussion that ultimately didn't make that show, but we still talk about it.
Yeah, and
it's all funny.
It turned out great.
Yeah,
it turned out great. We hope you guys enjoy it.
It pushes a little. It may push some boundaries comedically, and that's what it's meant to do. I mean, that's part of what we're talking about. We're talking about, pushing the envelope, but being funny, and how you can be funny. I don't know. The people complain about limits, but there are none if you're clever. So that's.
Right.
Well,
so
the heart of the heart of this, I think, interview.
Right. So, and that's why we were saying before, when you're listening, after you listen, communicate with us and let us know how you feel about the episode. If you
but only share positive things, of course.
But let us know how you feel about it. We can chat more about it. We can
no notes like Ralph Garman got about his freezing experience.
Right. Oh my God, I loved that.
Oh,
I don't know why people are so crazy.
Well, people said why'd you give them a free commercial? And you know what? They don't
because you can.
Well, he gave him the commercial because they opened up the experience to him, and what he was doing was,
right.
I mean, it was like if you know old Letterman and stuff,
right.
He wasn't really plugging the science or whatever. It was more about his reaction.
Right, and it was something with his wife, to do with his wife. And,
I wonder if they're going to complain about the freak science of hair removal this week.
Yes, he's getting laser, isn't he? Oh my God, he was getting waxed.
Oh my God, he cries like a little bitch.
Does he? Because that shit hurts.
Yes, he does.
Does.
Oh my God,
that shit
I feel bad.
hurts.
I know, and apparently even the woman who's
it's a bit.
The truth is that men, their nerves are actually, she said, like bundled tighter and closer to the surface.
More for men.
So yes, it does. Hair removal actually hurts more for men, just based on their physiology.
Okay. So I mean,
and plus we just have more hair in general.
It hurts already. It just hurts, and it's just it's gonna hurt. It's just you can't help it. It's just something.
And they talk about sugaring.
Yeah. Do I even know what that is? Do I know what sugaring is?
It's apparently it's literally made from sugar, and like it's sticky, and that's how they pull the hair out, so they don't have to hot wax.
I thought it was something sexy. It's not.
No, it's hair removal again.
Oh.
Right.
All right.
Well, anyway, having nothing to do. Well, actually, no, it does tie in because recently, of course,
sugaring.
Master Debaters had Mr. Ralph Garman on.
Yes, they did.
So another reason why it's a good segue into this great interview with Master Debaters. All right, at this time, I am thrilled to bring on our next guest. It's sort of a weird, like, how this happened is interesting because, I mean, we know the guys from this particular show. I'll let the cat out of the bag. It's, Master Debaters is on the line here. But the way this kind of came together was weird because, I mean, we know you can't listen to every podcast in existence. You can't listen to it's just so hard. And since we were both on, we both plug on Modern Family a lot. We know who they are. We see the show. We forward and like we retweet and like their stuff. But honestly, it's a show that I've never gotten around to listen to. Now, that said, recently, Ralph Garman was a guest on the show, and that sparked our son, who apparently is a fan of Master Debaters, who was drawn to them because of the name.
I know, right?
He's 19 and whatever, and it was just a neat, confluent. Everything kind of came together, and we were like, "Oh my God!" So it really, at this point, it made perfect sense to get them on the show.
Yeah.
So at this time, I would like to welcome to the show none other than Christopher Parr from Master Debaters. Let me turn him up so you can hear him. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hi.
That was a lovely intro.
So, yeah, I had to get through had to backpedal and apologize for not listening to your show before all this.
It's all right.
But it is, we always see you out there. We see you as fellow podcasters. I mean, you're definitely a Modern Family member, so our hats are off to you, sir. But please tell us about the show, how you got into podcasting, and what the show is all about, and all that kind of good stuff.
Well, we've been doing it for nearly 3 years now, and you think we'd be able to sell the show, but we've never really been good at pitching the show to anybody. So the best bit of sales we've had is from Matt from the Mr. BS show, where he basically said, you're a show about everything and about nothing at the same time.
Yeah.
That's what Jerry Seinfeld's show is always compared to.
Yeah. So basically, it's me and 3 other lads. Well, when we can get all 4 of us in one room, it never usually happens. And we just get together, we debate, we rant, and basically we just try and make each other laugh. And we play some games, and people seem to enjoy what we do.
See,
it's so far so good.
That's the key, because nowadays, I mean, when you come out with a podcast, you can't. I mean, if you just passion aside, and if you just do it because of passion, you want to do a nerd podcast thing now, you're just going to get lost in the sea. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to have something now. I mean, it's getting to the point. You have to have something to make yourself stand out, or because you're witty enough to come up with something good. But yeah, you can't just be the nerd show anymore.
No, even right. We started out with the intention of, right, let's just get together and let's just, because when we get together, we just whinge and we talk a lot about everything, and like we're always quite negative, and I'm like, well, this is quite funny because we've got Sean who's positive, and like it started out with me, Michael, and Sean, and me and Michael used to just whinge about everything, and then I've sort of gone into the middle. I'm a bit on both sides now, so Michael's quite hardcore against everything. And we've got the light and the dark, and then I'm the grey in the middle, and it just worked from the get go. I mean, the name helps.
Yeah,
and a lot of people
name.
See the name and they go, "Oh, well, that looks interesting. I'll jump on that."
So true.
It's a great name.
A name. And you know what? It's so funny because I mean, at the same time, it's a great name, but it's almost like Captain Obvious. You know, like how does this not already exist?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like. Yeah, it just seems like low-hanging fruit. Like, but you grabbed it. I mean, and it's just like the guys we fuck. You know, the girls from Guys We Fuck.
Great name.
Great name. And,
such a great name.
I mean, granted, they had the talent and the skills and the ability, and you know, they knew they had a message, the anti-slut shit. Yeah, so they knew what they wanted to do.
Mm-hmm. But
so
the name was
the
just...
name helped. The name helped.
Yeah.
We've found that a lot. People jump in, and like the first thing they say to us if they're a new listener is, "Because well, you didn't really debate." I said, "Yeah, well, we don't do a technical debate. We used to, but we always ended up falling out."
Yeah.
Because we'd have like two of us at debate, and the other one would choose the winner, and then whoever won, the loser would be like, "Oh, for sake, I've spent hours writing this debate and it's just lost." So we had to sort of put it on the back burner. But like we have like a sort of a round table debate now where we all give our opinions, and we still argue and we still fall out, but it's all in jest now.
Here is another key to your show: the accent. The
accent, your accent is so
go
great.
a long
I love it so
way,
much.
Especially here, obviously, because you guys,
everything's
you
lovely.
could be dumb as bricks, but it doesn't matter because you got that accent. You could be as stupid as Trump and pull it off with that accent.
I hope he's not. Oh no.
I don't like our accent at all.
Really?
I think
Why?
it sounds stupid. Look,
what?
We don't even finish full words, and we drop letters off words. Like instead of the word horrible, we say horrible.
Yes.
Horrible.
Yes,
There's no H.
Well,
it's just
you have
horrible.
We drop H's, we drop T's, we just drop letters. We invented the language, but we butcher it ourselves.
You do have a bit of a thicker accent than most. Where are you? Are you London or where are you?
I am deep in the heart of the Black Country.
Yeah,
it's in the West Midlands. It's about half an hour from Birmingham.
Wait, okay. Are we talking like Mercia here? What are we talking about?
Sorry?
When you say west, isn't that like Mercia?
No, I think that's up.
Okay.
Yeah, that's up.
That's up. We're basically we're in the middle, slightly to the side.
Okay.
Hello. Yeah,
we're
a few hours from London.
When you say western,
think we're from London.
Okay.
Yeah, but deep in the heart of the Black Country.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, your accents seem a little more pronounced.
Yeah.
Yes, very. I mean, I've tried to sort of drop some of the letters, and I try and enunciate a bit more, and I think I'm getting a little bit better. Like if you go back and listen to early episodes, we slur a lot when we talk, and we speed words up and slow certain words down. But like people have said, it's difficult enough to understand three people anyway. But when we're all arguing and talking over each other.
It's like an episode of Monty Python.
And we're all British.
The worst British accent
we're
ever.
all British.
Yeah, suddenly we're all like a parrot sketch.
Everybody does that. They always go to like a really terrible Cockney accent when they do
Horrible.
Of course.
Hello, governor.
Hello, governor.
There's only one.
God, Scott does that.
The patron saint is fucking what's his name from
Oh
Mary
my God.
Hello, Mary Poppins.
Oh my God.
Mary Poppins.
Yes. Hello, Bert.
Oh my God, he's
I'm your
horrible.
chimney sweep.
He's so horrible.
There are other little subtleties in the language. Here's another thing. Like this is just something I've noticed. British people use the term "called." Like we don't use that word for people. People are named.
Called.
Yeah.
Oh, I got yeah. Yeah, like.
Oh, like what are you called?
What's your name is what we
Okay.
would say. We
What's
would never
his-
say, what are you called?
What are you
because
called?
because the answer would be a shithead or something like that. You know, yeah, calling isn't, we do with objects, not people.
Right.
And
I
that's
never
a
really
very,
thought about that.
yeah, it really is. When you think of it, it's a real, it's like, and how did that happen? You know what I mean? Like, why did we
Right.
break that way?
Right.
It baffles me that we're a really tiny island. I mean, compared to America and Canada, we're tiny, and you can drive from where I live. You can drive an hour up the road, and somebody speaking a completely different accent, and that baffles me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, it's scale, you know, because you're on
Yeah.
an island.
It really confuses me how accents started, but then I start getting all weird and I start giving myself headaches because I think too much.
But they also say if you find a place that's an island, you will find a strange and usually thicker accent. I will point to Long Island, New York.
Oh, Long Island.
And
okay, yeah.
Which also has Brooklyn and
Right.
Queens on it, on that actual island mass.
Uh-huh.
And they have, Long Island has a very distinct New York
Yeah,
accent.
that's different from
And
Staten
it's-
Island.
And it's very thick on the New York thing. You know
It's
what
very
I mean?
New
You know,
York.
it's very much like that.
Very New York. New
And
York.
it's being on that island. All you ever
Yeah.
see is your other friends.
Yeah.
Except for the guy across on the other side of the island. Fuck him. For whatever reason.
Now, don't give New York a bad name. You know that.
So yeah, there's something they say, you know, islands and accents. Where you find islands, you'll find thicker accents. So maybe that explains you Brits, pip pip, jolly well.
Cheerio.
See, it's always the same thing. Always the same thing.
Of course.
Scones.
Of course. My name is Scott, and in this country, there's a brand of toilet tissue called Scott tissue. My whole life.
Yeah.
Everybody says, you know, my kids would say Scott tissue like they were the first ones to think of it.
Right.
So, you know, what are you going to do? It's like the jerk off who tells you see you next year, you know, on December 31st.
Oh, yeah, we have. Oh, I ain't seen you for a whole year. Shut up, mate.
It's been a day. It's been a day.
All right. That joke wasn't funny 10 years ago. It's not funny now. So, okay. Like, did you feel they say usually you don't find a show for about 10 shows. What was that experience like? What was your first 10 episodes like?
Oh, that's actually a really good question. Well, originally it started as a wrestling podcast.
Oh, wow. Like
yeah.
professional wrestling?
Yeah, like because all four of us used to wrestle.
Oh, okay.
So we just sort of got together and we just went about the wrestling. And then I said, "Nah, we've got to stop. I don't want to talk about wrestling. I want to talk about other things. I want to incorporate other things and start playing games and stuff like that."
Now, can I ask you? So when you say you guys were into wrestling, like in school, you wrestled?
Oh no, professionally.
No, like someone like Roman Greco style wrestling, that kind of wrestling.
No, like the WWE.
Really? Like they have that? You can do that as kids?
Yeah, it's massive in England at the minute.
Really? Like
yeah.
Like they have a class you can go to?
Yes, yeah, everywhere. There's loads, and especially in the Midlands, there's shitloads now.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
You've opened a very strange like can of worms here. Okay, first off, I'm an openly bisexual male, so that is my perspective. And
Yes.
wrestling has never been anything to me than like guys acting out on deep homosexual sort of vigor. Or
That makes perfect sense.
Okay, good. Oh, I'm so glad you said that.
Because
You
he's
know?
a wrestler and totally agrees with you.
Because you have oiled up naked men
Oh, shit.
pretending to fight. I mean, it'd be different if they were really fighting, but they really are pretending. And so that's when it becomes weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's on paper it sounds daft.
Yeah.
But like it's like it's an art form. It's like a dance. It's like you look at a stage show and you'll look at ballet and all that sort of shit. And like it sounds really stupid, but you can compare wrestling to like a ballet performance because it's the same sort of thing. You're lifting people, you're throwing people, you're trusting each other, and you're putting on a performance to evoke a reaction from people paying to see you.
Yeah. I mean, that's why you can't gamble on wrestling because there's a fixed outcome.
You actually can.
What?
Can you gamble in America too, or
no? You can't gamble. They don't gamble. Well, if it was independent, it would be like side bets.
Okay.
I guess you can't. But if someone knows the outcome, can't they just leak it?
Well, what you find is recently, anyway, we've got a betting company over here called Sky, and they put all of the bets on for the WWE and all the big WWE shows. So, look, recently we've just had the Royal Rumble, which is a massive show. There's 30 people in it, and only one can win. So, like, the odds can go from anything from favourite to 1,000 to 1. And you'll find as the event gets closer and closer, the favourite to win, their odds are ridiculous. It's because something's leaked.
Oh my God!
It always eventually leaks. So, like, if you look at the bets the morning of the show, you go,
so
"Oh, he's
if it
winning,
leaks,
he's winning,
like
he's winning."
That sucks.
You don't even. I mean, isn't it like 0 to 1? You have no.
Oh, it's ridiculous. You owe them money after you put a bet on.
Like, why would you even bet it? It's like, wait a minute. Why am I betting for someone I know the outcome?
Oh my God! You know who would love to talk to you? Jay Miller.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about Jay Miller while we're talking.
We had him scheduled, and he something I can't remember what happened, but we had him ready to come on, and we didn't eventually get him in the end. I think he stood us up.
Yeah.
Well, try him again because he would
funny
definitely do it.
Because we just dropped a show with him, but I cut out a whole wrestling bit from that show because he had the exact opposite reaction to my comment that you did. Like I
think it was more.
He was kind of pissed that I associated it with
no, wrestling it's weird because wrestling is the most homophobic and gay thing at the same time.
It so is, and and you know what? All gay males know this.
But how can it be so homophobic when it's obviously you look at it?
It's so hard to explain.
It's like
okay,
and I'm very
deep-seated daddy issues.
Do you know American Beauty?
Yes.
I do
you know why did that guy? Why did the guy kill the guy at
know.
the end, even though he liked it? It's just
I know
because homophobia fucks guys up. That's why. That's why. That's the answer.
It doesn't do such a job on girls as it does on men.
But hey, you guys are pretty when you make out.
It is.
Everybody likes it, huh?
Hey, you know what? There's some really cute boys when they kiss. They're really nice to watch.
I agree.
But okay.
Nice
anyway,
people,
this is not what we're talking about.
Having sex is always good to watch. I don't care what gender they are.
Yeah.
Nice. No, I love that. Yeah, they're good.
Have you ever had a debate about this?
Yes, we have actually.
Really?
So we get into everything really.
What was your favorite debate? Not necessarily because of subject matter, but because of the outcome.
Oh, I always like the and it usually gets too far, and I have to end up cutting it out because we get too into it, and it becomes a part of something completely different. But whenever we talk about gender fluid and all that sort of stuff, I love seeing people's reactions to it. You just bring up a simple subject of like sexism's a good one. Sexism's a good one. Like being a victim of sexism. Like I tried some purple frames on in a opticians before, and a bloke came up to me and he went, well, you're not supposed to wear those frames. They're girls' frames, actually, mate. I went, doesn't matter. Like, because she's wearing purple frames. I was in the girls' section, but there were nice frames.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think those are the very frames I have on right now.
Right. And my daughter, now that you mention it, she's 16. She bought a boys' frames like a month ago when she got.
Most of them are unisex nowadays. Yeah. Like if they look good on your head, wear them.
Yeah. So he went up to you and asked you that, like.
Yeah.
Why
you
you
called me out. I was like, well, it doesn't matter. The fit and the look nice. So what difference does it make?
Why does it matter to you?
If it was America, here's the truth. If it was a girlfriend, they probably would have charged more for the same fucking thing.
Yeah, but like people have.
I like bringing it up to we do these videos at Comic-Cons where we'll go up to people and we'll just ask them a weird question. We'll like blow the mind a little bit and then we'll walk off. And like they'll be like, what?
Yeah.
And I like going up to a normal person, usually English males in the mid-30s. If you go up to them with like a sexist comment, you'll find a lot of them will go, yeah, you're right, mate, yeah. And we'll just
yeah, that's so.
You explain it to them then, and they go, oh shit, yeah. And you just walk off.
You ambush them.
Yeah.
We had one about accents before. Like we were walking around Comic-Con asking people to do a Jackie Chan accent, And they went, "Oh, we can't do Jackie Chan. That's racist." And we went, "Okay, then do Arnold Schwarzenegger for us." And they're doing Arnold Schwarzenegger like that, and we're going, "Well, what's the difference?"
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know
they
why.
did it anyway.
I think one is because you're doing an individual, and the other you're doing a race. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
but
when
both
you're,
of them.
when
Still
you're
doing
doing
Jackie
Arnold,
Chan, though?
oh, Jackie Chan. Okay, Jackie Chan.
I wouldn't even know how to do Jackie Chan.
Well,
there's not really much you can do. It's just nice to see people get baffled by it.
Yeah, I guess you're wrong.
We had one kid who wouldn't do it. And went, "I'm not doing that. That's racist." So I went, "Okay, then do Arnold Schwarzenegger." And straight away he did an Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's so funny.
And I think the other thing
what's the difference, mate? And he went,
here's the other thing.
Well,
I don't know that I could do a Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
So I guess in your mind you go to generic Asian,
right?
Which is going to be, then you're fucked. Or Rosie, you're thrown off the show for going ching chong, ching chong.
So what did he say when you said that? When you said isn't it the same?
It blew his mind.
Yeah, right.
It is true.
Blew his mind, and then we just walked off and left him. And we just left that little bomb in his head, and he's walking around going, "What the fuck just happened?"
Very, very George Carlin.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, waking up the retail clerks.
That kind of reminds me of Eric Andre too, a little bit.
Yeah.
That kind of humor that when he has that interview show is weird. He has a strange. People come on his show and he just kind of does random things and they have no idea where they are and what they're doing there.
I have no idea what you're
Eric
talking about right now.
Eric Andre.
So I know how they feel.
Right. We were talking. Exactly.
He caught it. He got that. Somebody got that.
Well, he's British, so he doesn't know what we're talking about.
No, he's well dialed in. Don't let that accent fool you. Those were master spies during World War II, those Brits. Yeah, they were recording all the racist shit.
Yeah, we still are.
That's true.
We still are.
That is right. Thank God for your guy over there with the memo. Mr. Downs or whatever the hell his name was. God, I had something else I wanted to pick on the Brits about. Now I can't remember. Oh, yeah. So last week on the show, I don't know how it happened, but we just sort of fell into I just fell into Winston Churchill somehow.
Okay.
I had never done it on the show before. I'm not even sure where it came. I know there's a lot of Winston Churchill in the air, but while doing it, it was like you suddenly realize that you guys don't get inspired over very much. You know?
No, we sort of cling to, like you say, Winston Churchill. We don't use. There's not many coming through now that we do.
Yeah, it's like when you hear him talk, and then I'm thinking to myself, I'm thinking back to my Iron Maiden record, and like, let's use this guy as our rousing opener. We will fight him in the land. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, what happened? There's some sort of fundamental disconnect between. Because I don't feel very roused. I feel like, the guy's about to fall asleep.
Yeah, he's not very excitable.
See what I'm doing? I'm picking on their biggest hero here. I'm seeing if I can arouse him.
I could not give a shit, mate. Like, there's a lot of people that cared about like the royal family and sort of shit. Like Americans seem to care about the royal family more than we do.
That's what we've heard. We have heard that.
Americans have some sort of I don't know what it is with the royal family.
The shooting clerks folks are the ones who say that.
Because look what we have to look up to.
Yeah,
seriously.
There you go.
They seem to be like normal. They have kids. Like the kids are really sweet. They're so sweet and they seem very like buttoned up and Meghan Markle. And I love her. I'm very excited for you guys.
Doesn't she
Why
sing
can't we have someone sweet like that around us?
We do. We have Donald Trump.
Ugh, it's so horrible. It's just like
So, all right, I gotta know. What's the deal over there? How do you guys feel about all this fucking shit show that we're experiencing? A Russian spy in our White House.
It's just nice to watch.
Oh, why?
Really?
At the minute, it's just one thing. It's like a farce, isn't it? It's just comedy.
Oh
no! It's just constant material for people to keep using, and it's just.
Yeah,
I don't know how you're managing to cope. From here, it just looks really funny.
Well, that's the only way we've been able to cope is laughing at it.
That is true.
Making fun of him.
Because if we don't, we'll go crazy.
Making fun of him directly on Twitter is the only way people get along now. Every day.
It must be.
The amount of just mind-boggling absurdity. Like we are living in upside down world. It is like Lewis Carroll could not have written it as good as this.
Right.
Yeah. It baffles people. It's the whole world reacted differently to it, and it's just weird. Like, I feel sorry for a lot of Americans.
Yeah,
all right, now we're totally bringing the show down. So we're going to change gears. All right, we want to take a moment to talk about Death Wish Coffee. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, do yourself a favor and get over to deathwishcoffee.com. And there you can buy the strongest coffee known to man without a prescription.
The world's strongest coffee ever.
Yes, as proudly displayed on my wife's sweatshirt over there.
Yes, on my body,
yes.
On my mug,
yes,
on
it's
my
on my
K-cups.
Yes, and you'll know them by their telling sign of the skull and crossbones.
It's
that tells
so
you
good.
Exactly what you're in for. It's that used to be the international symbol for poison, but now it is the symbol for good damn coffee.
It's awesome. Without milk, with milk, you don't really need it because it's strong.
But
it's
not bitter?
Not bitter. So you don't even need milk. You don't even need sugar, but you can add it if you'd like. It's just really, really the perfect, strongest, most awesome coffee.
Become a junkie of Death Wish. DeathWishCoffee.com. Thank you very much.
Enjoy it.
And be sure to get 10% off your order at www.deathwishcoffee.com when you use the code ThatMan. That's one word, conjunctified, all caps. ThatMan for 10% off your orders at deathwishcoffee.com. I want to take this time to mention to you www.audibletrial.com/ThatManOnFatMan. That's right, www.audibletrial.com/ThatManOnFatMan. That's one word, conjunctified. Go there, sign up for your free 30-day free trial. Sign up, get a free book, a free audiobook, because you don't have to go through no tedious reading. You don't have to turn no fucking pages. You don't have to do any of that bullshit. You get in your car, you put on your headphones, and you are listening to a book. You're taking a magical journey into a fictitious land. You're expanding your mind, all when you're stuck in traffic. Fucking amazing. Audiobooks. These are the wave of the future. And you can get in for free for 30 days. A free trial. And when you get your free trial, you can download a copy of Tough Shit by our Savior, Kevin Smith. That's right. Our Lord and Savior, Kevin Smith, has left words for us to follow in our lives. And we can get it for free just by signing up to audibletrial.com/ThatManOnFatMan. That's right. audibletrial.com/ThatManOnFatMan. Thank you. Please sign up. You'll be very happy you did.
Yeah,
all right, now we're totally bringing the show down. So we're going to change gears.
Okay.
Let's talk a little bit about Batman, the show, your son. We'll talk about Ralph Garman, how you got him on the show, and the video. And
oh my God, that video!
Yeah, because that video won everybody's heart. So.
Oh my God, that was so.
And for those of you listening,
adorable.
I'll let you tell the story. So
Please.
Take it from the top, sir.
Well, I've been a fan of Babylon for years. It was the very, very first podcast I ever listened to. Yeah, and I'd never heard of Ralph Garman. I knew Kevin Smith from. I got into Kevin Smith weird. I watched Jay and Silent Bob first, and then I've sort of through the years I've gone back and stuff like that.
Well, most Brits I find came in on Dogma. That was a big movie in England.
Well, I had a mate who just gave me 2 DVDs, and he went, "Yeah, watch these." And it was Jay and Silent Bob and Mallrats.
Okay, those are 2 good ones.
And then I watched them both, and Jay and Silent Bob for years, it was just a film I'd constantly watch on repeat.
Yeah, both of those movies are great because they don't demand much of you. They speak to the comic book geek, certainly Mallrats does. And fucking, what do you call it? Jay and Silent Bob is just I had a boss who was
it's just a fun film.
Yeah, a guy who you wouldn't expect that movie to be his favorite film. He was 10, 20 years older than me. but he loved that movie. That's the broad appeal it had. Yes,
It is very watchable as well. Like you can put it on any time and just sit there and watch it.
Yes, and it's the movie I point to whenever Kevin Smith busts on the Lord of the Rings movies for being, they're just walking. Well, what the fuck is that movie? They're just walking.
Again, gone is Kevin Smith.
Yes.
And then found the podcast, and I just fell down the podcast rabbit hole. And since then, it's still my favourite podcast now. So I'd always wanted Ralph. But there's never really been an opportunity to there wouldn't be a reason for him to come on. Like normally when we get guests, it's usually like we offer him something. It's like, well, you're doing this, so we can promote this.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. You have to accommodate things.
There you go. So I knew he had the Ralph report coming. So I sent him a message. Sent him a message on his Facebook, on his fan page group or something. I can't remember what it was. And I gave him the normal spiel we give all of our guests. Like you drop all the details of the show and all the important stuff and the previous guests and stuff like that. I just want to come on and answer some daft questions. We'll push all your stuff and we'll have a bit of a laugh with you. And he got back to me straight away. So I was like, oh, all right, easy. And like I had all the questions for him straight away because I knew everything I wanted to talk to him about anyway. So when we got him on, I was dead nervous and I had my list of questions and there was only 2 out of the 4 of us doing it. And it's always weird when we do interviews because we've got different styles, but it works. Like I like to ask questions that we've got different type of questions. We've got silly questions and we've got some questions where they'll actually go, oh, that's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll have a ponder and then Michael will go, how big's your dick? And it'll just baffle him for a bit. But we wrapped up with him after about an hour because I don't like to keep people.
Yeah. Right.
And he went and it was lovely. And I was like, oh, bollocks. I wanted to ask him to do the Adam West impression for my son because my son's a big Adam West fan.
Oh
okay,
God.
now how
West
old is your
Batman
son now?
fan.
He's very young. He's like 4 or something, right?
Yeah, well, I grew up watching Adam West.
Yes.
And like the 60s film was one of my favourite films growing up. I used to constantly watch it on repeat. So like my son's growing up and he's getting into Batman. That was the Batman I was sort of pushing on him because he was like, because he does watch the shit Batman.
If I
films,
could
like.
just say something, I think that Okay, I'm the same age as Kevin, and I grew up in essentially the same, let's say, TV programming area as Kevin.
Yeah.
We both watched Batman at like 4 o'clock every day. They would play the 2 back-to-back, so you wouldn't have to hang out all night for. Oh, no. Actually, that's not true. They would play them back-to-back, but they still got you because they would play the cliffhanger closer from the last night.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And then play the opener episode for the next one. So you were always kind of like, oh, I got another episode I got to hang in for. And they did that 5 days a week. So, that is such a part of Kevin. And as if you're a fan of this show and a fan of Kevin, like that Batman, because I didn't know it was camp. I didn't know. No. I was 10 or whatever the hell I was, And so you don't get it. You don't get that to you, it's serious.
100%, yeah, 100%. Like watching it now with my son, like I can appreciate it on a whole different level.
Oh, yeah.
Like I can sit there and laugh at it because it's actually really clever and very funny.
It's gay camp is what it is. I mean, I hate to say
tremendous.
It, but yeah, because the 60s, I mean, whoever was writing that show, knew about gay camp. Because if you replace the secret of them being Batman and Robin with them being gay, that show becomes funny on a whole other level.
That's a good idea for a show.
Oh, trust me, because whenever, what is it, Aunt Harriet or whatever is running around going, boy, it's like she's trying to catch them being gay or something. It really is. When you go there, the whole show flies off the hook.
It also gets very dark because Robin's about 16.
Well, no, it doesn't get because she never, they never actually do it. But there's so much innuendo.
It's fine in this country. 16 is very legal over here, so it's fine. It'll work over here.
No more politics. We're going to let that rest. So okay, so your son is now in that phase. He's in that magical phase.
Yes, yeah, he loves everything Batman, and he does watch the shit ones like the Arnold Schwarzenegger ones because they're just colourful and they're nice to look at.
Yeah.
But like what they've started doing now, they've released the cartoons, didn't they? Adam West and Burt Ward came back and did the cartoons.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's just something else that you can sit down and get excited about, and that's he loves the Adam West Batman. Yes. So
from the 60s.
Thought if I asked Ralph to do it, it'd be nice for my son to just hear Batman say hello to him. I didn't tell him to say anything. I just said literally, could you just say hello to my son for me as Adam West? And he went, sure. What's his name? I was like, oh, okay. And within 5 minutes, he'd sent me this produced video with all the sounds and everything. I was like, oh, he's gonna love that. And then he did. And then it just sort of blew up.
Yeah. So wait, and hang on. Did you watch it first before springing it on him?
Yeah, I listened because he sent it me on the night.
Yeah. So you knew that you were going to record his reaction. You're like, I got a reaction video out of this.
I honestly didn't know. I listened to it and I thought, oh, that's amazing. And like I played it to my girlfriend and she loved it.
Uh-huh.
And I thought, well, I'll get home from work, we'll sit him down and we'll show it him. And then it just sort of made sense to film it just in case it was.
Yeah, because you're dad.
Yeah, he could have just gone, yeah, so.
Yeah.
But it didn't. He loved it.
Yeah, it was like, okay, it's so odd because here's the weirdest thing. Now, I've met Kevin Smith.
Mm-hmm.
When Kevin Smith says my name, I still have that same reaction inside. That same one your son has where he's like, oh, he said my name. He knows my name. I so identified with that. I was like, I know that feeling.
Yeah.
It's a magical video, and it kind of went viral for the Garmy.
Yeah, it was cute.
Yeah, like Mark Hamill was tweeting about it, and I was like, I was telling my son, 'cause he likes Star Wars as well. I was like, Luke Skywalker, that is. He's like, oh, no way.
Get Mark Hamill. See if you can get Mark Hamill on Master Debaters, man.
I know.
It'd be a nice catch.
It just worked. A lot of people seem to like it, and it's lovely, anyway.
Yeah, you don't want to exploit it. I understand. But, I mean, it's not exploiting if the guy gives you a retweet.
No, it's such a nice video. Like he knows it. He knows, like, I'll walk upstairs and I'll listen to him playing something, and like my son will be reciting the message. He's sort of learned it word for word now. So
my God,
does he do
cute.
it with the accent?
Yeah,
American accent.
Yeah, he tries. Every time he plays, he does an American accent anyway.
Oh, you got to record that shit. I would love to see. I would be fascinated with that.
That is so cute. Oh my God.
Yeah, bless him.
Yeah, because you got to figure, it'd be like us playing Sherlock. You know what I mean? Like if I'm playing Sherlock, I'm putting on the British accent.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's not good either.
No.
It was hard to be Sherlock.
But what's amazing now is like all our superheroes are fucking British.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
James Cavill.
That's true. Yeah.
Daredevil.
He's British.
Yes.
Oh.
Spider-Man.
British, right?
Yeah, and he even puts on a Queen's accent.
He does. He does a really good job too.
Yeah,
the only ones that aren't are Captain America, Iron Man, Black Widow, Black Panther.
Well, yeah.
We got Batman as well, didn't you?
Yeah,
Batman was.
That's
Welsh.
right. You did. It's right. That's right.
Batman was what?
He was. What's his? Yeah.
Oh, that's right. He was too.
He was also an American Psycho, too.
He was. He was an American Psycho.
He's got a weird accent. Have you heard him talk?
He's odd. Yeah.
I like what Kevin gets really hung up on the fact that he's got like a weird thing, a mole on his eye.
Yeah.
And so he's like, if Bruce Wayne had that mole, wouldn't you know he was Batman?
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, it's like Ben Affleck. He's got a chin dimple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at least Affleck's 6'2".
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's so funny.
And he looks like he could fight you.
We were just talking about during our news segment with our news person that like we went to the first con that we met Kevin at. Standing outside was like get this guy, good looking dude, but he was like signing autographs, and I could not recognize who he was. And I finally went over and asked him, "Hey, who is that guy?" And he was like, "Did you ever see The Watchmen?" Yeah,
yes.
that's the Night Owl. Now, the Night Owl was like 5'6", and I'm 6'2", so it was like, oh my God, my whole world just fell apart.
Like Night Owl is like 7 feet, right?
well, Night Owl should be as big as Batman because he's like the Batman counterpart. And
his name's Patrick something, isn't it? He's a good-looking bloke.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Patrick, you're right.
But it was just like, I don't know, in the screen makes everybody bigger, I guess.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't know Tom Hanks was fucking 3'2", would you? If nobody told you.
Is he 3 foot?
No,
well,
no, he's not 3 feet.
I know he's not 3'2", but we learned that fucking Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise is 5'6".
He's also 5'6".
Tom Hanks is 6 feet.
Okay,
so he's fine.
He's a real man.
Yeah, you're fine, Tom Hanks. No worries.
You're a real man at 6 feet. Otherwise, you're just a hobbit under there.
I'm only 5'8", so.
Hey,
it's fine.
Are you into Tolkien or any of that stuff?
No.
I say more of them.
And he said that with quite the verve.
Yeah, I'm a big Lord of the Rings geek, so it's just
we've got Sean on the show. He's a massive Lord of the Rings fan. So like he'll try and bring stuff up, and I'll just be like, Sean, shut up.
You're the one.
But people can go on and on and on about
But if
that.
someone pulls out a lightsaber, are you jumping on the fucking Millennium Falcon?
I am a casual Star Wars fan.
Okay.
Doctor Who?
Okay. No, not Doctor Who.
No.
Not Doctor Who.
Neither us.
I'm not a very good English person, really.
Do you like Sherlock?
I like you
Sherlock?
already.
I like
I've never watched Sherlock. No.
Yeah, Sherlock I love. I love
we
Benedict
like Sherlock,
Cumberbatch.
yeah.
I'm all over that.
Yeah, sexy guy.
Oh, did I say that out loud?
Maybe if he was half naked and oiled up and fighting another dude.
He doesn't have to be doing that. He's fine.
I'd watch that.
Suddenly I'm turned on somehow.
Now that's the right setting. There you go. Now you got it right.
Hey, we've come full circle.
I can't imagine him like that though. He's so proper.
So you guys were a wrestling show. The fact that wrestling is breaking big over there is nuts.
I'm sure it's been like that for a while though, right?
And I know heavy metal is big over there again too.
What's that?
Again, meaning what? Like there
heavy,
was,
like,
and then it wasn't. It wasn't.
No, well, it kind of petered out, and like heavy metal, like the big shows and like all that kind of stuff.
Oh, we owned like the 80s and 90s, really. It was massive over here, but it's more of a European thing, isn't it? Though now.
Oh, is it? Okay, so you guys, and that's right. You guys have you left Europe.
So
you Brexited.
Yeah, like I associate most heavy metal bands now with Eastern European. Like I like a lot of like White Lion and
Great White Lion Snake.
Yeah.
They're
from the 80s, aren't they?
Great White Lion Snake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a lot of heavy metal for me is like the best bands are from Europe.
There is a theory that there was only one metal band.
Right.
It was like 10 guys and they would interchange themselves.
But like Mr. Big, Bonfire, all them sort of bands. We're all the same people.
Yes,
I like Mr. Big.
Again, the Great White Lion Snake of it all. See, it took 3 times for that joke to land because he couldn't hear me. You kept talking over me over there. Stepping on my joke.
You made it work, sweetie. You made it work.
I had to force it.
Oh, my God.
Just like my orgasms.
Wait.
Wow.
Boom, boom. Well, when you're me, you got to force everything. Because I'm a brick inside.
Yeah.
We're taking obviously, we've run amok.
That's how
We've
I like
only
it.
been talking for 45 minutes.
I know.
That's what I'm used to.
Yeah. We were talking about how you deal with negativity on the interwebs.
Right.
Okay.
Have you had any experience in that neighborhood hosting a show that is generally throwing out wacky ideas and concepts? Have you?
Surprisingly not. People are usually quite nice. I think it's probably the British thing, but people are usually quite nice.
British really does go a long way.
That really is so true. I mean, And it's a wonderful stereotype to have, too. I mean, Canadians have it, too. I mean, everyone thinks that Canadians are everybody's younger brother.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's. I always do that, though. I always associate Canadians with just being nice, and they don't really mean it.
Yeah, it's true. So they don't know what the fuck to make of Trump up in the Great White North.
But people are usually disarmed by our accents. So, like, we'll say stuff, and some of the stuff we say is very, very close to being, like, just all sorts of offensive. Like, that's what we are. We're very close. But that's what people like. And I think it's because we are British people, just let us get away with it.
But who are you offensive to? You're all pasty white people. I mean, who could you possibly insult besides each other? I mean, the island is predominantly pasty as shit.
Yeah, like who's getting upset?
We've added some flavour to our group.
That's why they're like, look at him. He's a ginger. Let's kick his ass.
I'm ginger.
Yeah, I know.
Who's a ginger?
He's a ginger.
Chris is a ginger, yeah.
Let's kick his ass. We got to get him. Because he's got red hair.
Because he's a ginger.
His nipples are inverted.
Ginners are winners.
I agree.
Like, I guess
I'm not a ginger. But...
on an island of nothing but pasty white people, they have to find something else to prejudice against each other. You know what I mean? He's from Mercia. You were talking before about the accents. That's how that happens.
Probably, yeah. Because you got nothing else to whinge about.
He's Welsh.
Something.
Fuck the Welsh.
To be fair, you are very. You hear that a lot.
Really?
Fuck the Welsh?
You'd be surprised.
Why?
Oh my God! You guys are all the same landmass.
But why?
Like the Scottish hate the English as well.
No, that we know. Well,
you know, don't like the Welsh.
What was it? Prima nocta would make me hate you too. We've been to the movies.
Yeah.
Freedom! You know what's so funny, man? I can't even talk if you graze my nuts, and they're cutting his balls off.
Oh my God.
Well, Mel Gibson's a real man.
Yes, that's true.
He's back as well. He's back in a big way.
Yes, Apocalypto too.
He's apologized, now he's back.
I hope he can be not racist.
He's here for the resurrection, sir. More fiction.
He's so annoying. I'm sorry, but Mel Gibson.
Hey, everybody likes a fairy story.
Yeah. I hope he's better. I don't know. Or whatever he is.
Yes. Do you know that the Jews are responsible for all the world's
Jews. Yeah.
You knew he probably... I just feel like he was probably leaning in on that Jew word.
He like spit all over the guy. He's like, Jews.
But this is the truth. That dude was so fucking drunk.
He was out of his mind drunk. He didn't know what he was saying.
Exactly.
But
I mean, I hate to be like defending that shit.
All of the stuff he was feeling inside that he wouldn't normally say was now coming out in that one moment of time. He took that moment to say everything about the Jews.
Listen. It all goes back to David Eagleman's The Secret Life of the Brain. His theory, which really proves out, is essentially, he calls it like a team of rivals. Essentially, inside your brain, it's constantly spitting out a lot of ideas, and most of them are bad. Like walking down the street, somewhere in the conscious of your mind, your mind is going, I'm going to punch that woman in the face. And then the rest of your brain going, no, that's not a good idea, and here's why, blah, 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 And then by the time an idea comes into your head,
it's not that idea.
It's already been thought out.
Yeah, it's not punching her in the face.
Now,
obviously.
when you're inebriated to the point where your brain is no longer functioning normally, all those thoughts that would usually get suppressed,
they get all mixed up.
They can find a way out very easily.
So now you're punching that lady in the face when you're drunk.
And you're saying, Jews are responsible for the...
And then you're like...
Shit you wouldn't say in public.
Oh, my God. So, but I think he's been punished a long time.
What I'm saying is everybody has all those bad ideas in your head at some point. It's just the alcohol is what allowed them to bubble to the top.
Well, he said he's sorry. Now everything's good now, so that's all that matters.
And again, the man
he's better.
The man has a Jewish lawyer, so he can't be a racist.
They can't. I've got a black friend, so I'm not racist.
Yes, the old
Yeah.
The black
You have
friend
black
defense,
friends.
huh?
You have black friends, so you're not racist. Absolutely.
Yeah.
not.
I'm just prejudiced.
Oh yeah, not racist. I just hate everyone.
It's so funny too because racist has become the word, but really the truth is we are prejudiced. We're all prejudiced.
Everyone is,
Yeah.
to some extent.
We're just not all racist.
Exactly.
I always
Everyone
think that everybody's a little bit prejudiced and everybody's a little bit sexist. It's not always your fault. It's just the people that you were brought up with.
Right.
Like my nan is still a bit racist, but that's because she's my nan.
Right.
Yeah, we talk about that.
My granddad will still be a bit sexist, but that's because he's my granddad.
Right.
No, it's because he's sexist. But
it's because he's sexist, yeah.
Yes, but he just happens to be your granddad.
Yeah.
But we love him.
Yes, of course.
Of course.
I'm sure the black people don't love him so much.
he's got a black friend. He's fine.
Oh, okay. See, there's this theory out there that you can't. I hear a lot of comedians now kind of whine about, oh, it's politically correct and you can't. There's things you can't say. But I say that's bullshit, and I say if you're clever enough and you take and you're punching up, there's nothing you can't say.
I adore Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Because he just plays on that fear of saying things that people usually go, oh, you can't say that. But he plays on it, and he's very, very clever with his jokes. He tells a really funny Bill Cosby rape joke, and those words should not go together. Funny rape joke should not work in the sentence.
Right.
But because he's clever and he's playing on people's fear of those words, the way he spins it, he's actually really funny. And he gets like a different laugh from people.
Yeah.
It's like a
agree.
gut laugh.
Yeah.
It's when you're clever, you can get away with anything.
Exactly.
You've got a word right.
And it's also, I believe, part of his punching up. As soon as you start punching down and shitting on people,
Right, when you're mean.
Yeah, that's never gonna fly. But this thing, like sometimes though, when I see those comedians, it really, what bothers me is I just think what they're saying is, I'm mad I can't say the N-word anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as a wise man once said, do you really want to?
Yeah, like, why do you want to say it?
Do you really want to use that word?
Yeah.
And they're just mad that it's verboten for them.
Right. Like, why can't I say it?
Yeah.
They can say it.
And I say, if you're a clever enough comedian, you can say it. You just have to construct the right joke.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
He agrees with you 100%, sweetie.
So, tell us all where we can find your show, because I don't want to keep you past your hour, sir.
And everyone else on the show.
And tell us, where we can find you on Twitter and all that good stuff. Promote away.
This is a bit we're not good at. You can find us at _Master Debaters on the Twitter. Find the show. We drop every other Sunday on the Radio Misfits Podcast Network. Just look for us on iTunes or anywhere podcasts are usually kept. We're on there. Subscribe to us. Let us know that you've listened. Go to our Facebook and watch our Comic-Con videos. They are doing very, very well. And we're trying to get one of them to 500,000 views.
Wow, that would be great.
Awesome.
Okay.
Which is close at the minute, and it's frustrating because we always said whenever a video drops, we go, it'd be nice if 15 people watch it or 20 people watch it, and then you just get greedy, and that's what we've done. We've got greedy.
It's okay.
Yeah. Well, YouTube is kind of a different environment. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Yes, very different. Yeah. Very, very different.
We always see it as sort of like, and then a plus. Like here, it's an addendum to the show.
Yeah, I agree with that, yeah.
But I'll have to go check out your videos now. And I will definitely link them. I will forward them. And
we'll share them all over the place.
Share them all over town and get them to 500,000 views.
Yes.
Did you get affected by YouTube's recent decision to change their thresholds for certain things and stuff?
No, because we're still trying to figure YouTube out. We post all our videos on Facebook. And like, however well they do on Facebook, if we post it on Twitter, it never really seems to catch the same fire. So we've just sort of fell out with YouTube a bit.
Yeah.
I can't work YouTube out. I really can't. I wish I could, but I can't.
You know what else is weird? Here's another thing I find weird about YouTube. Whenever I search something while in YouTube, I can never find the kind of I can find a lot of things like it, but I can never find the thing I kind of want to find. But if I go out to Google and I search it there, I can find the YouTube link that I need. It's the same fucking company.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why doesn't the search work that well in YouTube?
Yeah, if I'm looking for a sound or a clip for the show, I'll Google it instead of. If I go into YouTube to look for a certain clip, I can never find it.
Yeah,
I have to Google it.
Exactly, but it's the same fucking company. Why does this not work? Anyway,
you've got a lot of salt in you, my friend. You do very well on our podcast.
Well,
he is very salty.
Yes, as my wife is saltier than she lets on right now.
I am salty too.
Everybody's got a salty side.
I see her busy tweeting away, doing work stuff.
Doing work.
Yes.
That's what I do.
She's producing.
I work. No.
But we definitely appreciate you coming on.
Oh, thanks for having me.
We love you spreading the story. I love the accent. And
I love it.
This has been a lot of fun. This has been a great interview. I like this. For the accent alone.
I really don't like the accent. Next time I speak to you, I'll have a completely new one.
Really?
What do you do? Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, as soon as he gets off the phone, he's like, hey, I fooled him again.
Yeah.
He sounds like me.
He seems like he's a trick. Are you like a prankster?
I fooled him again, Teddy.
Are you a prankster? Are you a prank kind of guy? Are you guys? Do you guys prank each other?
Yeah.
You do?
Oh,
Okay.
You're those type.
Yeah.
I never.
Yeah. Some people are though, and they sound like they're like prank each other all over the place.
While they're wrestling.
Or while they're wrestling.
Throwing each other the turnbuckle.
We just wind each other up a lot, really.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So what was your wrestling character?
I was notorious Chris Navarro.
Yes.
Wait, Chris Navarro?
Yes.
Isn't that a rock star's name?
No, that's Dave Navarro.
Of course,
Even though I hate my first name, I don't like people calling me Chris. But for some stupid reason, I decided to use the word Chris as my wrestling name.
I like Chris Navarro, yeah.
And then I had Navarro because I like Dave Navarro. He's a very good-looking man, so I stole his name.
Yeah, okay.
I like Navarro, too.
And what was your hook? What was your thing? Did you have a shtick?
I was a bad guy.
Okay.
So I used to roll people up and...
I'm a ginger!
I don't believe a word of it.
Yeah. Well, I'm a lovely person, so...
See?
So I come out shouting and screaming, but it was a nice release.
Do you come out and scream and stuff?
Yeah, I'd be... Well, I wouldn't scream in people's faces, but I'd be aggressive and get people to not like me. It's a lot easier to get people to not like you than to get people to cheer for you.
That's true.
I'm Chris Navarro, the Angry Ginger. Oh, wait, there's another podcast.
There is a podcast. There is a podcast, The Angry Ginger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm more Desert Sunset than Ginger.
Yeah. Aw, see?
Yeah, but you're probably like Gene. Neither of you could stand out in the sun too long.
No, I can't. No, cannot stand the sun. Always hoods and long sleeves.
Long sleeves. I become a big freckle too.
That's England, from what I hear.
I've been there.
Yes,
It's a very, very long time ago.
Yes.
And I would like to go back.
Me too.
Where did you go?
I was just in London, just
and Ireland.
Picatinny.
She has Irish roots, so like when you live in America, if you're Irish or Italian, you go gaga.
You have to go
for your heritage.
You have to go to Italy, and you have to go to Ireland.
So much so that you never identify as an American.
I loved Ireland. It was so beautiful.
People ask you what you are, you say you're Irish.
Oh. It was just magnificent.
You're fucking American.
See, now, when you've been in America so I went when I was 18. So when you've been only in America for 18 years, when you go to a different country, it's totally mind melting. Yes. And it was amazing. Everything I loved. Yes. I just loved it all. So.
Yes. Yeah.
And I know if I go back again, I'll love it even more, just because I'm older now.
And right now, you'd be comparing it against the Trump America.
Yeah.
Now, you guys realize that it was the Russians who fucked you on Brexit, too. Right?
Yeah, they're responsible for everything, apparently.
Yeah, they're fucking responsible for anything that has software.
Yeah,
in it.
you
That's
guys got fucked
sure.
too. You guys got fucked also.
Bloody Russians.
I know, bloody Russians.
Hey, I think that's your new wrestling character.
Bloody Russians. I love that.
I'm the bloody Russian.
The bloody Russian.
Look at me, red beard, red like blood.
Isn't he? He would be perfect for your show. You can have him if you want. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing you. I'm teasing.
I can make everyone sexually uncomfortable.
Yes, you can. By rubbing your nipples like you were just doing then.
Yes.
No, I'm all right with that. I'm fine with that.
See? He's open.
Yes.
He is a wrestler, you know.
Yes, exactly.
Or he was.
Yeah. That's like half a fag right there.
I've seen it all.
You're half a fag already.
Yeah.
Now fag is different in Britain, sweetie.
So how long does it take to oil yourself up properly for a good match? I mean, and what
I
oil?
was never the one with the oil. I was usually the one oiling other people.
Oh, there you go.
So what do you use? Like Crisco?
Just standard baby oil.
Oh, baby oil. Yeah, I know. I'm just teasing. I was just teasing.
This
is going a totally different.
Slipping everywhere.
Do you put little now when it's afterwards? Do you scrape it off?
Ew.
With actually no. What you would properly do is cover them with olive oil and then scrape that off.
But what do you scrape it with?
That would give you the myrrh that you would need.
For what?
It usually just comes off when you.
That's what myrrh was.
Competing.
Yeah, but what do you use the
Because
myrrh?
in the Roman Greco times,
Those Romans were so gay.
After the guy was done wrestling, what they would do, and I'm not I shit you not, they would pour olive oil on the guy,
After?
and then people would come by with a bowl and a razor or a knife and scrape that shit off his body, and then sell it, and it fetched a pretty penny.
But what
as
would
an
you use it for?
aphrodisiac.
Really?
Yeah, or a perfume,
Wow.
to attract the lover because
it has like
because you have the musk of the
pheromones
gladiator
and like the sweat and everything.
Yeah.
Damn.
And that when
What's
they
that
gave
called?
myrrh, it's the shit they gave Jesus or frankincense.
Ew, they gave the baby Jesus
There was
that?
gold. We know what gold is. Frankincense is an incense, and myrrh. Myrrh is the shit they scrape off.
Chris,
people.
did you know this?
Isn't frankincense like a type of poison as well?
I thought it's an incense.
So they
Yeah, but
gave
if
baby.
you drink it, it can kill you.
Yeah, so they gave baby Jesus a poison and also a smelly thing that was was scraped off a Roman's dead skin.
Scrape sex aphrodisiac
For a baby. My God.
But here's
That's
the thing.
kinda hot, though.
That shit catches good price. In what respect?
What?
What? Because Joseph and
No.
Mary smeared it all over each other?
No.
And like,
Oh my God! I said it in the same sentence.
I
I
know,
because
I'm like,
I
who,
didn't
the baby?
No.
Should
that's why Chris started laughing right
My
away.
new running mate. I would like to introduce my new running mate, Gene Holden, who fucks babies.
No. What I meant is taking the baby Jesus out of it. It sounds kind of hot because it's a sweaty Roman, and you're getting
the Romans are giving you. But no, actually, this was Iranians.
Oh.
It's true.
Oh
It's
my
where the
God! It
wise men were
sounds
from.
so horrible
And
right
you
now.
You want to know why?
There are many hot Iranians as well, so let's just say that.
You say that like we shouldn't know that.
I don't know. Because I said, oh.
This is all getting cut.
Because I said, oh, after the.
Remember before we were talking about avoiding Twitter hate?
Yeah, we're not saying anything bad. We're talking about Romans. Who's going to be mad?
I don't know.
Tweet that. There are a few hot Iranians. See how many likes you get.
There's many. There are a lot.
Oh, boy. You at home missed a whole bunch of shit that was so inappropriate it didn't make the air.
They might have to get that.
However, it was racist. We put the theory to the test. If you could be politically correct, or if you could say things and chat, and we failed utterly.
Yeah.
So that all got removed.
You know, you've just cut out your show. That's absolutely fine in our show. So there you go.
You're British. You can get by. You
can see the accent.
You have that accent. You can say anything.
Whenever we talk, we just sound like accents.
You know what? Did you ever see Pink Floyd's The Wall?
No.
In the movie, the guy, the main singer, is watching this movie. It's an old World War II movie from Britain. I don't know any of the details about what that movie is. I know one thing. There is a dog in it. It's a black dog, and the dog is named Nigger.
Oh, okay.
And the guy is like, nigger, old boy, come here, nigger, old boy. So you are right. You British can, I guess, say anything.
Yeah, they can even say the N-word, and it's fine.
Yeah, you can call your dog the N-word and get away with it, and it's in a movie.
We used to have a colour of paint that was N-word brown.
Are you kidding?
Wait, you didn't even
No.
say it there?
I'm not going to say it. But yeah, 100%. There was a colour of paint that was brown.
Now, did it say?
Wow.
Did it say N-word brown, or it said
Okay.
the actual
Well,
word?
It said the actual word, but now it's donkey brown.
Oh, man, I don't even know if I like that.
So it goes from N-word to donkey.
Why can't it just be brown? I mean,
Well, it has to be a specific brown.
ironically, it was
Isn't it mixed race brown now?
But ironically, it's like, hey, that was our standard brown.
It was.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
still
but there's
brown
all
to my
different
granddad.
types of brown. Mocha.
Shit brown.
Shit
Shit
brown.
That jumps
What?
right. Shit brown. That jumps right to mine.
Yeah, but there's all different colors of that too.
Well,
shit
but
can be different colors.
I agree, but usually when
Orange.
someone says hey, it's shit brown, you get an idea what they're talking about. I don't go to the tan diarrhea spectrum. I go to the impacted black.
Ew! Impacted black.
I'm on a roll. I like this.
That's gross.
Gonna need some creative editing.
Impacted black. That's like tar. That's not good. Because
Yeah.
if you have that, you need to go to the hospital.
Uh-oh.
Because you have something wrong with you. You probably need a colonoscopy, I'm thinking.
Wrecked him. Damn near killed him.
I know.
All
so
right.
Chris is like, get me out of
All
here,
right,
please.
yeah, I'm using jokes from my fucking grade
He's like,
school
this
now.
is the worst.
Chris, thank you so much for being on the show.
We've
Master
worked-
Debaters, we will help spread the word about the videos. Check
and
out.
help these guys get 500,000 views.
Yeah, and it's been fun having you on as a guest.
Maybe even 1 million.
I know a good guest because I can laugh a lot and have a good time when
Fellow podcaster.
Yes.
Yeah. Anytime anytime you wanna have a chat, just let me know.
Awesome.
Lovely.
And thank you so much. And we will say adieu, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye, Chris.
I love that word.
Cheers, Chris.
See, you guys
And
do have
please-
to- cheers and brilliance are perfect.
And please say cheers to the rest of the gang for us.
I will do.
Please.
Take care now.
I will do. Lovely.
Ta-ra,
Okay.
everybody. Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Lovely.
Lovely. Lovely, lovely. lovely. Nigger, old boy.
No.
I'm serious as shit, though. I'm
was good. I
totally
like that.
serious. But I won.
Yeah, Chris from Master Debaters.
Chris from Master Debaters.
What a lovely bloke he was.
There was one point where I was sort of like, he said, Chris, he spells his name Chris with a K.
Like
It
Chris
just-
Christopherson.
It just threw me. Yeah.
That's the only other Chris I know that spells it like that.
That was a lot of fun. I had a lot
That
of fun.
was.
See, Brits are always fun. They're always sharp as
I know.
wits. I mean, this guy's a wrestling guy, and he's still like,
Right.
He's wittier than the average Trump
Yeah.
supporter.
But they do get away with certain things.
Exactly, like I just said.
Yeah. They
Everyone
really
out
do.
there, go see Pink Floyd. Tell me if I'm not mistaken that the dog's name is the N-word.
Right.
Because he says it several times. And I don't know what that movie is, but I know if you watch Pink Floyd The Wall, it's intercut into it.
My favorite satin shirt.
Hello, nigger old boy. What are you doing?
I got nicotine stains on my fingers. I got a silver spoon on a chain. Got a grand piano to prop up my mortal remains.
Nigger? No, not near, old boy.
I got
Check it out.
Yes. And there you have Mr. Christopher Parr of Master Debaters, and I loved that guest segment. It was a lot of fun, and now you can see why. Oh, my God. The whole Pink Floyd thing just
I liked
came.
all of that.
It was like, tie it all together.
Yeah.
Tie it all together.
It's crazy.
So
it's
it was
amazing
nuts,
how words are so powerful.
Yeah. But
Or can become so powerful.
But at the same time, like, again, watching comedians in cars getting coffee and stuff like that, and the Margaret Cho episode wherein, the audience attacks her. Those jokes were funny. The rape jokes were funny from her perspective. But it was just those women.
Yeah. I think everyone
they just reacted. They didn't even. They heard a hot button word and reacted.
What truly happens is everyone, or I don't want to say everyone, but the ones that were taking it personally took it to a personal place, so they were not able to laugh.
No, what they did was
they were
judgy. Yes, and you know what judgmental is? I'm better than you.
Yeah, and
I'm morally better than you.
They
That's
were
all
saying
bullshit.
that they were at like a rapey, some sort of rapey.
But I heard
show
the
or
jokes;
something
those
like that.
weren't rapey at all.
They weren't.
She was taking on her own sexual abuse. She was confronting it, and any comedian will tell you this. What's his name? Oh fuck now. Remember the guy Scott was chasing around at the Carolines?
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did the same thing I did.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
He used to be on Opie and Jim Norton.
Jim Norton, yes.
Jim Norton. He's on when he's on Kevin. He's on Kevin's on SModcast.
That's a good one.
He talks about how the only way that you can get over something like that is to put it in your act. Is to own it in your act. Figure out a way to make it funny and put it your biggest failure, your biggest shame, your biggest
put it
hurt.
out there.
Yeah. Take it on, make it funny,
Right. Now,
put
what
it
is-
in your act.
What is that doing? Like, why is that something
Because
you
then
should do?
no one else can do that.
Okay.
You've owned it.
Okay.
You've taken control of it. It's
Okay.
yours, and
Right.
you've figured out how to make it funny, how to make it serve you.
Right. So you're almost making it funny before someone else makes it funny at your expense.
But you're also
In a
taking
way.
that power.
Yeah, exactly.
You
You're taking the power back.
It's just like
That's true. That's
no
a
one can
really-
blackmail you.
Right.
If you're like, hey,
If you own
part
it.
of the I love being out now about being bisexual
Yeah,
because
if you
nobody
own it.
can ever threaten me. Nobody can ever be like,
Right.
I'll expose you for being gay.
If you own it,
No,
you're
you
already-
can't. How are you going to do that? Everybody
Exactly.
knows I'm actually public about it, you moron.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm hurt proof.
You can't hurt me now. Yeah. I've already owned that shit.
Yeah, and it's nuts.
Yeah.
But anyway,
it makes sense.
It was a great discussion with
It
Mr.
was.
Chris Barr.
I enjoyed
really
it a lot. It was really funny.
Love to have him back on,
Right.
and yes, I would love to be on your show
Yeah.
because he hinted that as well. So
Yeah.
yes, all you have to do is ask. I'm there. I'd
Let's
love to
set
come
him
on.
on up.
It's a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
All right. Well, folks, I guess we can wrap this out and get out of here.
Yeah.
We have one show left in season 4.
Mm-hmm.
That will, of course, be show 37.
Yes.
And what we'll be doing for that show is we will be having my audience in my brain come in. Mr. Midnight Smoke, Steve the Knight, as he's also known, from
Mr. BS Show.
The Mr. BS Show, thank you. And he also shows up on Afterburn.
He does.
We should another shout out to
7:39.
to Afterburn 739.
Yes.
They're going to be in Florida. They're looking for podcasters in Florida who
Okay.
want to sit,
Kitty and Leo.
who want to swing with them. No,
Over on
who want
there.
to pod swing.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't think the swing thing is really, but the pod swing. We'll call it that.
I like that.
Yeah.
Pod
I
swing.
think I just coined a phrase.
Pod swing.
Hashtag pod swing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So check those guys out. They're
A fun show.
yes. Where was I going? No, we're closing the show. And so
Yeah, we're
so
closing on it.
37 it'll be Midnight Smoke. Will be interviewing us,
And it's coming up soon. So
and that's something that it'll be.
You won't have to wait long.
Dropping like Friday, so
Yeah.
less than a week.
Yay.
We did that so we can get it in before the 18th.
Yeah.
But we did it. We did it. That's
We
what
did.
matters.
Yep, we did
Yes.
it.
It would be shameful to get anything less than 37 shows. in
And
the
we are
season.
proud
Yes.
that we did it.
Yes, indeed. And so, we will say to you, if anyone else hasn't told you that you're smart and good, we believe you to be smart and good. And go out there and be creative and do something good for somebody else.
Right.
Until next week, enjoy.
Right.
You're smart and good.
Bye, guys.
Wow, that's just pop levels. Howdy.
Bye.
Where's my closing theme? Oh, wait, that's wrong. That's being rickrolled, yo. Ooh, look at this. I get the Gene has walked away from the table, and I get the unfettered last words of the show. I don't get for her to say, we'll see you next week, or her little last word dig at the last minute. I'm just busting her chops anyway.
Go get him, that man.
Yes, I will go get him. And I'm doing all this to stall, and it still doesn't matter because it's on a different freaking tab before I can get to our closing theme. Seriously, you're smart and good, folks. And we really enjoyed the last 36 shows. Loved this show today. See you next week.
Yeah. 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 Is there something else out there? And just why are we here? Yeah. Then I see the world will turn and we must be its guide. Crazy dreams and nonsense schemes, dawn comes we must reply. Powers from our mother earth, they'll blow us to our knees. While our souls combined as one, come join us if you please, if you please. Reading moments one by one and smirking like a thief. Sleeping through another night and deepening our peace. Genesis and Match's wake is coming from our sun. Living in this very moment, for this moment's done. But now I see the dawn will come and we are all its guide. Crazy dreams and nonsense schemes, the Godhead in the skies. Powers from our mother earth is all we'll ever be. All our souls to bind as one, come join us if you please, if you please. Join another person's eyes, we worship at our shrine. Bursting flowers into bloom, there's no such thing as time. Powers from our mother earth will blow us to our knees. Twisting, turning, minds are burning, join us if you please. And now I see that I am just beginning its demise. Flashing bits of cosmic light that vanish from the skies. Powers from our mother earth is all we'll ever be. All our souls to bind as one, come join us if you please, if you please. If you please. If you please.
There he is. It's that man standing over Blood Alley Square, protecting us all. Go get him, that man.